Hear ye, gather round for another edition of Young Kings Wrestling, featuring the JDF Memorial Sovereign Soundboard. As always, you can find us on most platforms streaming your favorite podcast episodes, including Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music. If you're listening on the iTunes, leave us a review of the 5-star kind. Links to all the platforms and the merchandise available at ykwrestling.com, including YouTube channel. Subscribe to us on YouTube at YK Wrestling. As always, I am the thespian TC Fontaine, aka TCF baby, joined by King Reek of House of Havoc, first of his name. Welcome, sir. We here. Welcome to Knock If You Buckingham Palace. If this is your first time, welcome. If this is your second time or you've been here more than a couple times before, welcome back to another one. We here. And yeah, man. So we're gonna do something a little different. You were a couple weeks back. We recapped WrestleMania 20, where it all began again. You know, we had a little fun with that. And we were supposed to do Backlash, and we forgot. So we're gonna make up for it. We're gonna do Judgment Day from 2004. So we sticking in 04. Like, you still watching 04? Where you at on that? You just ended with Judgment Day, or did you move on?
I just finished up with Judgment Day.
Okay. I checked that out too. We're gonna jump right into it, man. From Staples Center in Los Angeles, California, May 16th, 2004. So that'll be tomorrow if you're listening on the first day this come out.
Yeah.
Lakers. Shout out to my Lakers. They sold it out the night before.
Mm-hmm.
Beat the Spurs in the second round of the playoffs. Moved on to the Western Conference Finals. Beat the Timberwolves. MVP Kevin Garnett. And then in the finals, we ain't gonna talk about that. But 2004 Lakers. I got triggered when they brought it up.
And in the present day, history could be repeating itself by now.
Possibly, yeah.
Well, the first part.
Yeah, the first part, knocking off the defending champs in the second round, possibly, yeah. That's where we at with it. Yeah, we kicked the show. Let's jump right into it, man. We got a few matches on the card. And first, before you started watching this show, what's like, outside of the obvious with Eddie Guerrero, what's the one thing you remember from this show before you watched it again?
Oh, Undertaker Booker T.
Yeah.
Because I remember it was a gap where I wasn't watching for a good minute in the early 2000s. So I have remembered when Taker switched to the American Badass gimmick. And that's why I could watch it. Because when Taker was doing the Dead Man gimmick, I was too shook.
Oh, Corporate Ministry? Nah.
Yeah, nah, exactly. Yeah. He was going crazy back then. But I'll never forget, I was at my cousin's going to pick him up one day. And it was like 2 weeks in when after Booker had been on SmackDown, he was just talking crazy about everybody. And I remember we was flipping through the channels. I'm like, let me go see what's going on in wrestling. I flipped in right as Taker showed up, trench coat on, the music playing. I'm like, yo, hold on, fam. When did we do this? You know what I'm saying? So I was just shook about that. And it was going right into Judgment Day. So that's like the first thing that automatically come to mind. Like, yeah, this is Taker bite on SmackDown.
Yeah, I first time I watched this was actually the night it aired. I remember. It was cool. It was cool. I'm gonna talk about that when we get into the one. I'm gonna tell y'all this is gonna be like y'all gonna look at me like I'm crazy when I tell y'all why I wanted to order this pay-per-view. I'm gonna tell when we get to that point.
You go.
Yeah, so I ordered it when it was live on, everything, and it was cool. I think what I remember most from it, outside of the Booker T thing, because I kind of forgot about it until I watched it. I was like, oh yeah, that's what Booker was with Taker. I remember Taker feuding with JBL. He's feuding with the Dudleys. I couldn't remember who was before that, who was in between Kane and the Dudleys. I couldn't remember. So it was Book, come to find out. But the main thing that I remember outside of Eddie Guerrero coming into this, I'll tell y'all when we get to it, because that kind of goes with what I was just saying. The reason why I wanted to order this show. But we started it off. We kicked it off with Rey Mysterio. You know, you got to have Rey Mysterio in your opener in the Ruthless Aggression era. That's how you get the crowd hype. You know how else you get the crowd hype outside of Rey Mysterio? Rob Van Dam. That's how you do that. So putting both together, you got you I hate when wrestling fans use the word banger, but you got you a banger, regardless of who's in the other side of the ring. We had the Dudley Boys on the other side of the ring. Now, refresh my memory a bit. When did the Dudley Boys turn heel? Was this after they moved over to SmackDown?
Yeah. They pulled up.
Heyman was trying to get the gang back together.
Yeah, and they turned on Rob because all three of them was in the ring talking to Paul, and then all of a sudden you just seen them start separating, and then Devon just starts swinging on Rob. They both start jumping them, and Paul was just like, "Yeah, we just on that type of time now."
Yeah, they wouldn't even let RVD get in the match. So most of the match was Rey Mysterio getting cooked, and we've been watching wrestling for so long, that RVD hot tag was coming at some point. So that point, we thought RVD got the tag, and no, the ref missed it, and the ref was like, "Nah, fam, get your ass back on the side of the ring." So that was a great tease. We end the match with Rey Mysterio, RVD, pop-up Hurricane Rana. That was probably won't see Rey Mysterio doing that nowadays, but that was fun. And we get a double 619 into the frog splash. 1, 2, 3. I don't think you can come to Cali on pay-per-view and open the show and not have these two win.
Yeah.
Like, that's just not right. Everybody loved him in Cali. B+ for me in this match. What you giving?
I'm about the same, probably B+. Like, it's criminal that they didn't get a good long run as a tag team. You know what I'm saying? Put the titles on them and have it run for a good long stretch. Because, I mean, this has so much potential other than them just, partnering up on occasion. But, I mean, then with the Dudleys, it was always going to be fired. But, yeah, it's probably a couple more minutes I'd give it an 8, honestly.
Yeah. Dudleys, we got to shout out to them, too, because they always do great work.
Oh, of course.
One of the greatest tag teams of all time. For sure. So we cut the Michael Cole and Taz. You remember Michael Cole and Taz?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, we got Josh Matthews standing by, investigating some strange noises. Coming from Booker T's locker. So we cut to Josh Matthews. He's on assignment. And he goes into Booker T's locker room, see what's going on. Booker T just goes on this whole rant, claiming he's bigger than RVD, he's bigger than Rey Mysterio, he's bigger than The Undertaker. Booker T, he pull out, I don't know where he got it from, he pulled out his weed bag, showed Josh Matthews, I got the power to defeat The Undertaker right here in this bag, dog. Tells Josh Matthews, I'm going to show you why I'm the top star on SmackDown. And then ask Josh Matthews if he can dig it.
That's that stuff he got from the little Miss Cleo looking chick.
Oh, I forgot.
on the one SmackDown.
I forgot about that. Now I gotta run back SmackDown 04 in that.
Yo, that was hilarious.
I forgot about that. So shout out to Booker T. That's my guy. Love him on NXT. Glad I get the y'all be hating on Booker T, bro.
I don't know why.
Booker T will do a commentary on SmackDown like 10, 12 years ago. I loved it.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's when he introduced Shucky Ducky Quack Quack.
Right. And listen, y'all got to leave him alone about that, him ordering some DoorDash, you know what I'm saying, when the show getting ready to end. Like, y'all know y'all hungry, be doing the same thing. Y'all know y'all will be doing the same thing. Like, come on.
You don't know, man. Sugar might be low, all that.
Right.
You don't know people's story.
He know how much time is left in the show. He know how to. He got this mapped out already. He know what he's doing.
It's probably at the first time he did it. How long he been on the show? Since last summer?
What to say? Well, a hot minute.
So
That's probably part of his regular schedule.
right. He probably do this all the time. I could order priority and show up before the main event.
Right.
You know, he got to do the level up and shit right after that.
I'm about to say.
Nah, he don't work level up. You can tell I don't watch level up. I'm thinking Booker T worked that.
I don't either.
I don't. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I don't. I want to. I just can't. Like watching NXT be tough enough. Like you forget that developmental. It's just.
That's what I'm saying. It's honestly, and I don't like to put the two of them together, but it's the same thing as Dark and Dark Elevation. Like it was never gonna happen.
Yeah,
it was never gonna happen. Like you can only stretch me so far with it.
True. Digressing. Shout out to Booker T and DoorDash. Ordering DoorDash. Shout out to Booker T. So we get back to the ring, and it's Luther Reigns. Y'all remember Luther Reigns?
Mm-hmm.
Luther Reigns got one of my favorite wrestling promos of all time.
Thanksgiving?
Yes, the Thanksgiving promo. Give me some of them peas. I had peas before. Love that promo. So Luther Reigns is pushing out this big ass box. It's a big ass box, like 7 feet tall, 7 feet wide, 7 feet, 7 square feet. It was pretty big box. And in the box, it was actually a stage with the lift, with an elevator lift. Out comes GM, former Peasant of the Week, Kurt Angle. Cutting a promo on some prophecy type stuff. He says, look at all these self-important phonies on their cell phones. I was like, is this show in 2004 or 2003? What? Is this show in 2004 or 2023? Players fuck.
Right. You rolling with it. It's okay. It's all good.
Lazy, incompetent dreamers looking for a big break. And he called them fans of an overrated basketball team whose superstar player is not going to be able to play in the Olympics because he's going to be on trial. Cooked my boy.
Damn.
It hurt me.
He had to do Kobe like that, man.
Because if he wasn't on trial, we might have won gold that year. You never know. He also cooked Eddie Guerrero fans. He did.
Cold.
Went in on LA even more. He said, I expect these fans to riot like they usually do after Eddie Guerrero loses to JBL tonight. Yeah. And then he wished a very, very, very significant size earthquake on the city when he leaves.
Ooh. Yeah, he was bugging out.
Yeah, he was tripping. Nigga, do you know that I can see you?
Like, body Eddie like that. Mexico is only a short trip down.
Yeah, Mexico's good, like 5-6 hours away. You tripping. You better hope you get out of LA quick.
Right.
But yeah, enough going in on the Lakers and LA fans and Eddie Guerrero. He calls out Torrie Wilson. Blames Torrie for being put in a wheelchair by the Big Show, because if he wasn't saving Torrie Wilson, he wouldn't be in a wheelchair. True. He's out of line, but he's right.
He's tripping, but he got a point.
So he tells Torrie, if you lose your match tonight against Dawn Marie, you're going to be fired. Q. Torrie Wilson versus Dawn Marie. And it was a quick sprint. They actually got a lot more time than Divas matches usually get in this era.
Yeah, a lot more.
I was definitely expecting it to be over. And then we doubled the amount of time of the match. It was about 6-7 minutes or so. It wasn't terrible.
It wasn't, but I was on
worse matches.
My interest went out after the Al Wilson thing.
The Al shit was crazy. That was crazy.
Y'all just lost me when that happened. So the fact that we now are a year and to the next year, and we just having a random match with no build, if you lose to her now, you losing your job.
This match didn't have no build? This wasn't announced before the show?
No.
So Torrie Wilson just came out there in full gear and just Okay.
He just showed up and just did an Adam Pearce on the fly. It's official. You lose, you fired.
And that's one of the things in wrestling. If you know how'd you know you was gonna wrestle tonight? You just came out in your gear.
Right.
Like at least Randy Orton consistent with it. Randy Orton stayed in his gear all the time. You never know.
That's what I'm saying.
Randy Orton
Yeah,
stay ready.
He be having like the shorts or the warm ups on. Like, listen, cut these off real quick and we just get at it.
I don't believe that with nobody else though.
Nah.
You can't fool me. I'm familiar with your game. Honestly, it's like the 5th meme that I've referenced. I'm just throwing them out there.
If y'all know, y'all know.
If you know, you know.
And y'all enjoy it.
With Tori Wilson, Dawn Marie, I'm gonna give it a C-. Like I said, it wasn't terrible. It was better than most Divas matches that could have featured both of these women. I've seen worse matches.
Yeah. Now that I think about it. What was it? Trish and I forget who else, but Miss Jackie and I think it was Charlie.
All ass A.
That was nasty. That shit was nasty.
Oh man, yeah, that was all bad. That was all bad. Yeah. What you giving? You said C-?
I'll say C for effort.
C for effort. Yeah, that ain't bad. It ain't bad.
Yeah.
Now, next match, and throw all the shame at me that you want. This is the reason I wanted to buy this pay-per-view. Wasn't with my own money. It was my mama money. I had to ask. I wanted to see what this Mordecai character was about.
Oh man.
Tell the people, catch the people up on what Mordecai was supposed to be.
Okay. All right. Full disclosure, I had forgotten all about him when I started watching it again. And then the entrance plays and I see it, I'm like, oh my Lord, we're back to this. So, once upon a time, the writers decided that because you have Undertaker back as the dead man and, the whole darkness theme, you wanted to create a persona, a character that would rival him. But not just rival him, but be the complete opposite of the Undertaker. So they wrote this character for Mordecai, who would later go on to be Kevin Thorne with ECW, with the New Breed.
Yeah.
They wrote this character that was essentially a religious nut, but he was the light version of the Undertaker. Like there was a sense of darkness to him, but it was in a sense of light. Like he's all white, everything. His facial hair, his goatee was all white. His hair is white, everything like that. He came out with this staff and everything like that. Like was cutting these real ominous promos. So he's like
cleanse the world of sin,
right?
That matter.
Right. Everything that you see in those horror movies with priests and stuff like that. That's basically what Mordecai was. Mm-hmm. The antithesis of the Undertaker, but no less creepy, basically.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think just a few short weeks after this, they cut the whole plan because it just wasn't hitting.
Yeah, he didn't last past like a couple months.
I
bought into the hype though.
Because he never interacted with Taker. He never even got to that point.
Yeah, I definitely bought into the Mordecai hype, and I feel like Vince McMahon owes me $40. Because this pay-per-view might not have been purchased if this Mordecai thing wasn't a thing.
I mean, if we're gonna collect, that was in 2004. That was yesterday's price.
Interest.
We got inflation. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
We talking today's dollars.
Yeah, we owe me a little bit more. With that being said, it's not really a lot to say in regards to this. I low-key enjoyed Kevin Thorne more. It's not saying much because Kevin Thorne was around about a year or so versus the 2 months he was Mordecai.
That was it.
So yeah, Mordecai, another match that wasn't announced versus Scotty 2 Hotty.
Yeah.
Scotty 2 Hotty got his ass cooked.
He got his ass cooked. He got cooked.
Adrian, you didn't go down like that, huh?
He got cooked.
No,
He
he
sure
wasn't
did.
ready at all.
No,
He was not ready.
he thought. He thought. No, he got cooked.
Mhm.
I'm gonna give this a grade of incomplete. There's no grade to give this. It wasn't much. It was a beatdown that just happened to be in between a couple bells.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess C minus. I wasn't like it's a debut. You know what I'm saying? And you
Could have
know,
did that shit on SmackDown, bro.
that's what I'm saying. Like I'm being fair too, because if I went back in time knowing what I know now, I would have just D or worse. But
Right.
I'm just gonna be nice. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you could have did this on SmackDown. It would have made more sense.
So since I didn't have a lot of notes on this match, I figured, I need to find out what happened.
What happened to that boy?
What happened to
Okay.
Mordecai, aka
Okay.
Kevin Thorne? And I found
Ooh.
out, and it was actually impressive. I was like, oh, yeah, I like to find these updates about people where I just like never would have guessed they would have took that route in their life, career, whatever. Kevin Thorne, shoot name Kevin Ferdig, he is a realtor in Indianapolis now.
Huh?
Sells houses,
Hold up.
and which is fire. He also provides championship belts to the clients that he closes his homes with, like personalized.
Oh, that's even doper.
That's fire.
Man. Yeah.
So he's already closed on 2 houses so far this month, which is also fire. Mind you,
Yeah.
we barely into the second week of the month.
I'm about to say it's the 11th.
Right. So shout out to the wrestlers that got good money management skills,
Right, man.
because like y'all a good story.
We know it's not a lot of y'all, but
It's not. It's better now, but we talking about a guy that was wrestling in the 2000s.
yeah.
Like now,
This was-
wrestlers with good money management skills. Now, I'm not shocked.
Like this was still during the whole, pack a strap in your bag. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
this
saying?
is
Old
before
boys club.
redacted. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So shout out to Kevin Ferdy. So we go backstage and we got Chavo Guerrero, former peasant of the week, finds Jacqueline in his locker room, just chilling. He's like, what you doing in my locker room? Jackie got him a box, said it's a present. And the present is a pair of lingerie. Now, you remember last week, on last episode, ran back this past week in wrestling history. A couple weeks before this, Jacqueline defeated Chavo Guerrero to win the Cruiserweight Championship. So now we got this rematch coming up. And Chavo and Jacqueline, they get into it. They start going back and forth. And Chavo said something that made me perk my ears up a little bit. He said, I'm going to make you feel uncomfortable and hurt you like you've never hurt before.
Whatever that fucking means.
Whatever that fucking mean.
Mm.
Says it's going to make it hurt real good. Chavo Classic in the background, like, man, it's a freaky motherfucker that I raised.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, what?
I raised you like that, mijo? No, sir.
But I just want to know, like, yeah, I know it's when at one point you bringing cameras in there. Why was my man, as soon as we cut to the cameras, standing there with his pants down, Chavo standing in front, like, y'all gotta get it together. Learn your cues.
The innuendos back then was just something.
Oh man,
Something.
it was a whole wild time, man.
So
He
we
just
go
did not
to
care.
nah, hell no. He was tripping. He was on something else. So we get to the next match for the tag team championships. Rico and Charlie Haas. Y'all remember that they were a tag team?
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Odd couple.
I remember that they were a tag team. Just trying to find things to do with the guys you had on the roster. It worked.
Sometimes it works.
It worked. It worked out.
Yeah.
for a brief amount of time. If it could work out like 3 months, that's why I think it's something that's successful. If you can do something and it can last 3 months or more, then it's good.
Everybody won. Charlie got a wife out of this.
He did. He really did. So it worked out. Their opponents, though, I do not remember this tag team. Hardcore Holly and Billy Gunn.
That's what I said too. Like there was nothing building up to this. There was no, hey, let's get together, let's tag. They just Hardcore is out here. Billy Gunn's his tag team partner. They challenging for the titles. Like what?
Okay.
Like I know Road Dogg was, in the middle of, have some shit going on, but
TNA at that time.
He was?
Yeah, 3 Live Crew.
Oh yeah. Oh. I forgot about them.
Yeah, Billy Gunn came to TNA like maybe 2 years after that. Voodoo Ken Mafia. All that good stuff. We're gonna do a TNA pay-per-view on here one of these days. 06 possibly.
Yeah, we should.
07. We should. One of them. They gotta have Kurt.
We did one when
did one with Apron Bump, right?
Yeah. That's what. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about that?
I want to say that was 08. No, that was 06. It was 06.
Yeah. That was
Lockdown.
I think it was Lockdown. What was it? When the Slammiversary?
I don't remember. That's bad. My bad, Kyle.
Kyle, if you're listening, let us know which pay-per-view it was.
I know it's Googleable.
I feel like it was Slammiversary.
It is Googleable. It's one of them. It's one of those shows. Right. Yeah, this it was a decent mid-card tag team title match. It wasn't nothing super special. You had a Hardcore Holly, Billy Gunn. Them dudes was them dudes in the mid-card, lower mid-card at that time. So,
right.
Like I said, finding things to do with the guys you got on the roster. And you got a split roster, so you got to do something with them. And they're vets. So you trust them to do work. But the ending, go for a Alabama slam from Hardcore Holly on to Charlie Haas. And before he can hit the slam, Rico, super kick. Charlie Haas rolls him up, get the pin. I'm going to give this one a grade. Let me be fair, give this a B. I'll give it a B. It was all right. It wasn't bad. I wouldn't have liked it if it was on SmackDown.
Probably not. Yeah. I'll give it a B plus just because, you got a makeshift tag team out here, and I like Charlie Haas back in the day,
Oh yeah.
And for this to flow as smoothly as it did, I'm like, okay. If you gave me a story around this, I could be more invested and I would enjoy it. So off of that alone, I say, okay, props for trying.
Yeah, I ain't mad at it. So they get the win. The champs retain. And like I said, it was decent. So we go backstage, and we got the Undertaker. See the Undertaker backstage, and there's Paul Bearer with him. And it was really brief. And I'm gonna sum up basically what they said about Booker T. About what Booker T said earlier, how he's better than the Undertaker, how he's a top superstar on SmackDown. And Paul Bearer basically said,
That's cap. Totally cap. That means lie.
He called cap on that in about 20 seconds. He even laughed at him. He said, "It's all right, nigga."
It's like, what?
So we're going to see how that turns out for Booker T later on.
Like, you sound stupid.
Yeah. So next match for the Cruiserweight Championship, we got a former Peasant of the Week, Chavo Guerrero, accompanied by Chavo Classic, versus Jacqueline for the Cruiserweight title. Jacqueline.
Look how thick that is. Look how thick that is.
Man, listen.
Talk about it.
Tell you something about them back in the day. Oh, man. They was different back then. It was very different.
It was. So Chavito forced to wrestle with one arm behind his back. And he said, I can beat a girl with one arm behind my back. So we thought.
He was getting his ass cooked.
He was. He was getting his ass cooked to the point where Classic untie this. Here are my notes. This is what I wrote in my notes. Chavo Classic unties Chavo Peasant's hand.
Oh man.
Chavo beats the shit out of Jackie at that point, hits her with a gory bomb, gets the win, blames the crowd for him reacting in that manner. Chavo Classic with the great heel work, punched the shit out of Jackie in her ribs after the match. You know there's a woman, right?
It was just dirty, man. I'll tell you what though, I appreciated, them putting a different title on the women too, because like because that wasn't something that was new either. Like China won the IC title at one point, and I read a good while back. Once upon a time, Russo pitched the idea of China beating Stone Cold for the title, for the world title. His crazy ass was like, "Yo, this will do it," which is probably why China was talking about she wanted more money than him. But that's another story for another day.
Yeah.
But no, like this wasn't a new thing, so I think it was pretty dope. And if anybody was gonna win one of the guys' titles, it had to be Jackie, because Jackie was about that life.
She was. I was heard. Was Jazz still around at this time?
Yeah, this is like it's coming to the end. Like it's about that, because she showed up later on for the ECW Invasion when they came back around. But
yeah, she was.
She was gone. Not too long after this.
Okay, yeah, you're right. So Jackie, Jazz, and I'm biased because I used to play with her on the game versus the men. Victoria, those are the main ones. Listen, I would have.
That was a goon squad.
Yeah,
you did not want to smoke with any of them three. I don't care who you was. If you was Trish, Lita, whoever. If you had to send one of them against any of them three, it's done.
Y'all remember Jackie was refereeing on Sunday Night Heat?
I do, for some reason. I don't remember what match, but I know I have the image in my head.
I feel like she did some ref work for a few weeks on Heat. Which again, you're just finding things for people to do.
Yeah.
Which is not bad. Like, give them something to do. Besides just having them sit in the back, do nothing. Like a lot of people do now.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
as we
I'm gonna get this
split roster situation going on currently.
Right. But C+ for this one. It was decent. Like the stipulation kind of took it down a little bit. So
yeah. I'll go C-. Like if we was just gonna, wait for a moment to turn the ref's head for him to just be, cheating his ass off, it's like this is another thing you could have just did on SmackDown, because like I wanted to see it get interesting. You was getting your ass cooked. I want to see how you was gonna get your way out of that.
Yeah.
You just said, hey, have my man untie me real quick and just distract him real quick. I got this.
Here's what it is, man. Next match, we're going straight into the matches now. No more promos, no more backstage stuff. John Cena, United States champion, takes on Rene Dupree. John Cena came out there with the big game James Worthy jersey on. That's a former finals MVP with the Los Angeles Lakers. Just a reminder who James Worthy is for y'all that don't know. We even got some San Antonio Spurs slander to pop the crowd too.
Right.
Love that.
Had to do it.
Had to. Los Angeles is what's that?
It's part of the gimmick.
Yeah. Los Angeles has been pretty good to John Cena in his career, aside from SummerSlam 2014 and WrestleMania 39. Outside of those two things, been pretty good.
What you gonna do, man?
To this day, he's in LA making movies.
Oh yeah, you living there now.
Yeah, John Cena's from Boston, by the way. Well, he's from a suburb outside of Boston. A few hours.
Close enough. Yeah. Let's say, close enough.
From Massachusetts. He grew up apparently a Celtics fan. He's a Lakers fan now. It's been recorded. There's been multiple instances of former Celtics fan John Cena wearing a Lakers jersey, and I love it.
Well, that tells you something.
Yeah, tells you a lot.
Sends the right message, and I approve it.
I do too. This match, I thought it was the best match of the night at that point. Very easily.
Mm-hmm.
Rene Dupree, they tried.
I've been saying it. Like I forgot how hard they tried, but they really was. They was going.
He wasn't him for whatever reason. I mean, if you believe the rumors, he was a nuisance in the locker room to some people. Had a lot of heat. They say he was a little immature. He was like 20 at this time.
Yeah, I could see it. Because he wasn't the only one. Like Jindrak blew the opportunity of a lifetime.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Bag fumbling Hall of Fame, Mark Jindrak.
Oh man. That was nuts.
But yeah, Rene, he wasn't him though, man.
Nah.
They tried. You can't say they don't try with some people. If they really want to try with them, it is what it is. John Cena counters whatever Rene Dupree had going on, hits the FU, goes to celebrate in the crowd. For some reason, he likes celebrating in the crowd in Los Angeles.
Oh, it was the omen. Sign of things to come.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give this an A. I initially gave it a B plus, but it was a lot of Lakers love from John Cena, and it made me care about the match a little bit more. So I was a little bit more invested. What you giving this?
I'll go B plus. It was like really what I really saw is like it was the start of what people would grow to hate about John Cena because he was really taking a lot of offense from Rene for a lot of the match, and then it's like as it just went on, it just became him just fighting back until like the last moment where it's like okay, he just snatched it out at the last minute like a buzzer beater. Got the win, and everybody hyped. But, a couple years later, it'll be like, oh, he's Super Cena, and he do this and the third. But it's like, listen, man. He just stick to the script. He was been consistent. Yeah, I can't be mad with consistency. You know what I'm saying? But,
21 years.
Yeah, right. It was clear as day. But, I mean, this was one of those nights where you knew that, they was going this way with John.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because to go to commercial and come back and he's still in the crowd with everybody and he's the mid-card champion, like we knew what time it was. We didn't know how soon, but we knew it was coming.
Yeah. And me, I hadn't been watching that long at this time. So like if I had been watching a few years longer, I could have seen that coming a mile away. Mm-hmm. As a kid, though, you just get caught in the moment. I was caught in the moment for sure.
Oh yeah, it'd be like that.
Shout out to John Cena. Next, we get a hype package for Kenzo Suzuki. Now, y'all remember Kenzo Suzuki?
I damn sure do.
I do. I remember him and the guy we just talked about, Rene Dupree, were tag champs at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Kenzo Suzuki was the Migos Culture album track number 11. All ass.
The main reason I remember him was that rap battle him and Cena had.
Yeah. Honestly, that was when I cared about him the most because okay, now you look goofy as hell anyway.
Yeah.
So now you being goofy. I couldn't have took him seriously. He came out there like trying to be a killer and shit, and he seemed like an abusive husband and all that. It was crazy.
Yeah, it wasn't it.
Yeah, y'all was tripping.
2-pack ass. Gotta
all ass A.
Gotta go.
Next, we get The Undertaker versus Booker T. First, I'm gonna just off the rip. A minus. Booker was my guy, bro. Like this era of Booker T, that was my dude. I beat myself up over this all the time. Raw came to my city when I was a kid in 2004 before WrestleMania. And on the radio, they was giving away tickets. And they had been hyping up that they was giving away tickets all week. They said, we're going to have an interview with a wrestler from the WWE. And it was basically like, just had to answer a trivia question about this wrestler that they was interviewing. And so this whole time, I'm trying to get my trivia stuff together now. I'm the trivia king. but I'm 10 years old. I'm not 10. I'm like 11 at this time. They call up Booker T. That's the wrestler.
Oh man,
I did not study any Booker T trivia, bro. It was not the guy. And then I started thinking, I was like, this is a black radio station. Why did I not think that they was gonna get the black wrestler? Duh.
Right.
So do you want to know the question that they asked to give away these tickets?
What's up?
Booker T said, now to win these tickets to Monday Night Raw, when did I win my first world championship?
Ooh.
I know the answer now. And I know everything that came with it.
Like you need the show or the date?
The year.
Oh, okay.
That's the year.
Mm.
I didn't know the year. Apparently, a lot of other people did not know the year. Because it took them a while to find a winner. They eventually found a winner, though. Y'all, Booker T won his world title in 2000. I was not the winner. I threw out every other. I was like, this is 2004. I started doing math in my head. I'm like, Booker T, 5-time champion. It's like, when he won his first title, he couldn't have won his first title in 2000. He got 5 championships. Like, it's a lot of championships to have.
Gotta spread that out.
Yeah. I'm throwing out 1997, 98. I called in. I said, 2001? It was 2000. I lost it. Anyway, I digress. That was my guy, bro. I love some Booker T, man. And as I mentioned before, I forgot about the feud with Taker until I watched the pay-per-view, and I was like, oh, I remember him. And because I remember the poster. I loved this poster that they had, by the way. The Undertaker and like the flames and shit. Literally, it was fire. I had the poster on my wall, like as a kid. It was that fire for somebody who was scared of the Undertaker at one point.
Right, that's what I was talking about, bro.
So yeah, just with Booker, I wish they did more with him around this era outside of the U.S. title. After this, he goes on a feud with John Cena over the summer, trades the U.S. title back and forth a couple times, and
great feud.
After that, I don't remember what Booker T did. I don't.
Yeah.
So anyway, the match itself, it was a great story about Booker T's desperation to not only beat the Undertaker, but to back up his claims of being the top guy on SmackDown. Very, very desperate. Very, very desperate. Undertaker just not phased at anything that this man is throwing at him. Nothing at all. So Booker T, his desperation just continues to take over. He said, you know what, dog? I got the power of the Undertaker. So Booker T, he gets his weed bag, pours some stuff out of it. It's some ashes. Like it's some ashes he got from Taker's urn or something. Throws it in Undertaker's face. And y'all know what the Undertaker did. I got a sound that's going to tell you what the Undertaker did.
If you don't get that bullshit out of my face, bitch.
Didn't phase him whatsoever. Choke slams Booker, hits him with the tombstone. It was right there. Just
had him up here looking like Ezel out here.
Oh man.
Tripping.
Somebody back here taking a shit.
Yeah.
Shout out to Booker, man. We're gonna have to add Booker T. We're gonna do a Booker T whole profile on him. We're gonna do that.
Oh, hell yeah.
Booker T, dog. Shucky ducky, quack, quack. What you giving? That's gonna
be the one he tapped in for.
Right.
I'll probably go A-. Like probably the best. It was outside of the main event, probably the best story on the card.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, and really, I'm with you. This was a window opportunity that they had, especially coming off a year before when they should have did the right thing and they didn't do the right thing until y'all do right by Booker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He goes to SmackDown, and like it was life imitating, kind of just imitating reality a little bit because Kurt Angle was on screen talking about he's the next guy, and I see him as the future of SmackDown and everything like that, and he was pushing them like that. And then backstage, it was looking like, okay, like they really want to push him, because why else would you put him in a match with Taker? But then we move right into John Cena. He doesn't even beat John Cena for the title, and it just goes from there. Like, yeah, y'all fumbled the bag. But in hindsight, before we get to that, this was a good sign before we started just going in the wrong direction.
Yeah, agreed, 100%. So now we're going to the main event, and this story's been going on for a while. Refresh the audience on what led to this match, because I just want to talk about a certain segment again. So let's talk about it.
Man. All right, so just a couple weeks after Mania, the APA found themselves in a situation where Paul Heyman was threatening someone's jobs. They thought it was both of theirs, but really Paul was saying that Ron was going to get fired.
I'll be damned.
So when they said that, old Bradshaw was like, man, I got stuff going on. I got a book. I'm on the news, or I got a segment on, was it Fox, where I'm talking stocks and everything like that, and trades. Like, I got a future. I got a future. You know what I'm saying? I think it was CNBC. He's like, I got a future here. So he left his partner, his man's, transformed into JBL, suddenly became, the Texas tycoon that knows all this, the business world and everything like that, and set his sights on Eddie Guerrero and the WWE title. Well, I've mentioned this before. We did this during an election year, and one of the topics that always comes up around election year is protecting the border and immigration. So we just pushed the envelope all the way forward, because JBL started running down Eddie, and the fact that he is Mexican American, and
Eddie Guerrero was born in Texas, by the way, just like JBL.
Right, like El Paso, Texas. Tony Chimmel says it all the time. But man, he was just running down him, his heritage, his family, and it got wildly personal. But one of the things that really set it off first, before we really got there, was JBL protecting our borders personally on live TV.
Yeah. Which led to him winning the Great American Award from Kurt Angle.
I was about to say, Kurt Angle, who wanted to name a number one contender, made the Great American Award with multiple competitors that were, I believe it was Booker T, John Cena, it was JBL, and there was a fourth person. But they had to all win matches, and the four of them got in there and they did a fan vote. And John Cena ran away with the fan vote by a landslide, a whole landslide. Like, he had this in the bag. And right before Kurt Angle makes the announcement, JBL says, "Hold on, fam.
I got something for you.
I got something for you. Roll that clip." And the clip is this man in the dark, outside, talking to the cameraman
in the forest,
and then he sees a bunch of folks in the distance, and runs and chases them off like he had white hoods on, and it was the '60s, talking about, "Get out of my country, go back across the border, because if you come back across this border, I'll be waiting for you." Oh man! So that swayed the great American Olympic hero that is Kurt Angle so much so that he named JBL number one contender. And then it just got worse, because they took us to a house show, which they never do.
Yeah, El Paso.
And filmed a segment where Eddie's real life mother was coming out to celebrate with him, and JBL was antagonizing her and getting in her face and intimidating her to the point that I don't know if this was legit or was real, but she had a heart attack. It's stories that she had a real one in real life, but as far as we know, in story, she suffered a heart attack, and that's just set Eddie over the edge. So we went from, just a regular title match to now it's gotten personal. And Eddie's not the person we want to get personal.
Yeah, nah. So, yeah, we got a hot story going into this match, and going to the promo video package right before it. JBL hit Mama Guerrero with the Ivan Drago. If she dies, she dies.
She dies.
Crazy. Crazy.
That is insane.
So the crowd, they hot going into this match, man. It's Eddie Guerrero, it's LA. You know they hot. They really got into it though after a ref bump. Referee Brian Hebner falls out, gets hit. Eddie and JBL, they say, yo, all punches are off. We can do what we want right now until his ass get up. They go out to the ring, they fight. Eddie throw him over the announce table. They fight at the announce table. JBL grabs a steel chair. Ow, clocks it right over Eddie Guerrero's head. Eddie Guerrero, a little too eager with the blade, man. Went a little too deep. Little too deep. So, yeah. So, get the chair shot. Some steel steps to the head. Clothesline from hell. We can't wake Brian Hebner up. He's still knocked out. JBL's hitting him. Like, wake up. I got a championship to win.
Yeah.
You know who came down, right?
Lil Nate, right?
Lil Nate did what he does best and ran down there as a substitute referee. Eddie Guerrero kicks out. Let a clothesline from hell. Maybe 30 seconds, 45 seconds later, we get a second ref bump. Now Lil Nate is out. Eventually, original ref wakes up, got some more stuff going on. We get the, you always have the eventual babyface champion doing his little comeback and everything, but it got shut down. Shut down. And at this point of the babyface champion comeback, it's been like 7 minutes since Eddie Guerrero cut the shit out of his head and lost all that blood. I do not know how he did not pass out at this point.
Yeah, man. Adrenaline is a motherfucker.
It's crazy. Adrenaline is crazy. So JBL goes outside, gets a chair, tries to bring the chair in, and the ref's like, nah, fam, don't do that. The chair was a diversion. He went and got the belt and tried to bring the belt in and hit Eddie with it. Eddie, take my belt, fam. It's like, what you about to do? Eddie Guerrero whams JBL right in the head, gets disqualified. And JBL, you know what happened. Got his ass cooked.
He got cooked. Hey, you didn't go down like that, huh? He got cooked.
And the refs, they can't get Eddie Guerrero off of him. This dude is just seeing rage right now. He's blacked out.
He took at least 3 clean dome shots with the chair.
He did. So in total, I counted. In total, we got 3 belt hits, 2 chair shots, 1 frog splash, and a partridge in a pear tree. That's what we got. JBL's like, I'm good, bro. Let me get away. Eddie Guerrero's like, nah, I got some more for your ass. He has some more smoke for him. Runs up the ramp, starts wailing on him some more. That's how he basically ends the show. Gets pulled away by Finlay, Dean Malenko, and Arn Anderson. Arn Anderson in 2004 was still an absolute unit. My man was jacked.
He was not playing with
Big Brolic. So again, I looked at the time. This show ended just slightly under 15 minutes from the point Eddie Guerrero cut himself. So in that 15 minutes, he's lost at least a pint or 2 of blood, and he's still standing. He's still operating, and it's crazy. And it was an incredible match. A+. A+ for me.
Yeah. Yeah, Sam. I said it before, he came in there like a killer. You just seen the body language and everything like that, and just came up there. Just it fit the theme of the show. Because you gotta have something personal with something like that. With Judgment Day, with Vengeance, shows like that, you really wanted to kind of illustrate what the vibe is, and this did that. You know what I'm saying? The blood obviously got a little bit more, way more than he was supposed to, but it's like you have those happy accidents in wrestling, but the happy accidents turned out to be really great because it's like, it gives you a visual that you can't unsee, but for the right reasons. Like, at the end of the day, you know, that's something that it's always like one of those things that's bookmarked. Like when you start it up, they tell you like, oh, mature audiences, and you know, they give all the warnings because it's like, this is really going to get
disclaimers.
Yeah, because like dude was bleeding buckets for real. Like that's the main reason why they did that. So I mean that did it. I mean, he was like, Eddie did not play around about what he did, and sure enough, as soon as we went off the air and he gets backstage, he passed right out from all that blood. Because, good God, I think he said he like was like almost nicked an artery or something like that. That's why it was bleeding so bad.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
like,
he
dripping, pouring.
Yeah, he was verging on disaster with that. But yeah, man, they made this good. I mean, if this had been what we got in July, a couple months after this, I mean, this would have been all the way through. It would have been a great feud, but the finish wasn't nearly as good. So I'm gonna leave that alone. But this was solid. That's how you want to close the show out.
Yeah. Especially like these B pay-per-views at SmackDown, they was the clear B show at the time. They had to hit you with something.
Mm-hmm.
Especially we getting Shawn Michaels and Triple H on Raw on a pay-per-view in a month. So you had to hit him with something.
Nice.
In fact, they was actually going really crazy with the pay-per-views around this time. We had Backlash just before this. So we had the hardcore match at Backlash. We had this.
Yep.
We had the Hell in a Cell.
Bad Blood.
Was it Hell in a Cell? Yeah, it was Hell in a Cell.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, we got the bull rope joint.
Yeah.
So yeah, they was in a bag when it came to the main event.
Was there something? No, there was nothing on Vengeance. No, there was nothing on there. But yeah, then they had the Texas Bull Rope match. So crazy.
Yeah, shout out to 2004. It was one of my favorite years. And Eddie Guerrero, he only had 4 successful defenses during his championship reign in 2004 on TV. Chavo Guerrero, that was his first one on SmackDown. Kurt Angle at WrestleMania, Triple H on Raw, and then JBL here at Judgment Day. Is this better than the match with Kurt at Mania? Or am I just being a prisoner of the moment?
Man. From a technical sense, no.
Oh, yeah, no.
Like, in ring, the work, no, not at all. But if you just, purely enjoying the spectacle of it, just, from an entertainment standpoint, yeah, they got that. Because, like I said, it got personal. The emotion was in it, storytelling was in it.
More emotional investment.
Plus the color, like,
yeah.
It's the visuals. But technically wise, Kurt, Eddie, you can't beat that.
Oh, yeah, of course not. So shout out to Eddie Guerrero, one of our GOATs.
Thanks.
He's on our throne for sure.
Gotta be.
Loved Eddie Guerrero and still do. So sorry if this offends anybody in his family, but
apparently it only offends one person.
Yeah, we like Eddie Guerrero over here, and we're gonna show respect to his name. With that being said, King Reek, we're gonna get up out of here, man. Plug your socials.
Yes, sir. Y'all can find me at ReekHavoc24 on Instagram and on Twitter. Also, go check out The Havoc Hour, where I talk sports and entertainment on all streaming platforms. You can find on Kings Wrestling, Google Podcasts, Anchor, Spotify. The video version is up on YouTube. It may be coming back soon. So stay tuned for that. And check out the Instagram page _Havoc Hour _.
And I am the thespian TC Fontaine, aka TCF Baby. Follow me on Instagram at TC.Fontaine, FOI.Flicks. That's FOY.Flicks on Instagram. That's my photography page. Give me some followers on that. I should post more photos. Then we're gonna take some photos this weekend. How about that?
There you go.
Let's do that. Let's get that crack. And follow Young Kings Wrestling everywhere at YK Wrestling, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Subscribe to us and check out all the content. And until then,
These numbers up.
yeah, get my numbers up. But until next week, let us know in the comments what other pay-per-views we can review. Anything of that sort.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna go TNA next time. Just gotta
Right.
find out what year of TNA.
Gotta be like anywhere between 05 and 07, probably.
Yeah, I'm thinking 07. 07 probably was the
Yeah.
best complete year from when I was watching. You had Kurt, you had
Yeah.
Christian, Sting,
Right, yeah.
Scott Steiner.
I just watched that video a little bit ago. He came out of WCW with the damn tiger.
Oh, see, he dope.
It was a wild
You're
one,
really
man.
might have to get Scott Steiner on the throne.
Might have to. Not gonna lie.
Let us know. But until then, we out of here. Gone.